let's get ready, cause the race is coming. Let's get on board, cause it's breakfast with Bob.
Thank you, Poncho Man. Have a round of applause for our man, Poncho Man. Welcome, Breakfast with Bob from Kona and Huggo's on the Rocks. My name is Bob Babbitt, brought to you by Master Spas, SFuels Go Longer, HOKA Let's Fly, deboer Wetsuits, Form, Smart Swim Goggles, Zoot Sports, the original triathlon brand, Quintana Premium Plus Sports, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, Els Visser, has had a phenomenal year this year. How you doing, Els?
Good morning, Bob. I'm doing really well, thank you.
You have been, a round of applause for Els. You win Ironman New Zealand, you win Challenge Almere, third at Challenge London, 22nd PTO US Open, 17th PTO Asian Open. Jumping in those type of races when you're really more of a long distance athlete, pretty scary?
Well, yes, it's not really my distance to PTO, and it's definitely a different league than racing Ironman or middle distance. But for me, it was all about the experience, just take the challenge and go there, be on the start line.
After what you went through, just all of this is sort of a bonus. And for a lot of our folks who don't know your backstory, you're a doctor and you were in Indonesia and just on a boat trip from one island to another, and take it from there. What happened?
Yeah, it was a 4-day trip in Indonesia from the island Lombok to Komodo. And then on the second night, we had to drive for 18 hours to reach the next island. And the weather really changed, and we came in very extreme conditions. And at 11 p.m., our guide, he came upstairs to the sleeping deck and he said, "Everybody awake, there's a hole in the boat, they're making water." And the problem was that the boat was so simple that there was no equipment to reach out to people. And we were that far in the ocean that our phones had no service, so we couldn't reach out to people.
And the boat ended up getting, what, a big wave came in and submerged the boat?
Yeah, so an hour after, we were all smashed into the ocean by a big wave. And then we had one little lifeboat placed for 6 passengers, but we were at 25 total. And we had to wait the entire night. And it was super cold. I was terrified. Waves were coming over me, but the only thing we could do was just waiting until sunrise.
And then at sunrise, you guys had to make a decision. Do we stay on a sinking boat and hopefully somebody comes by, or do we try to swim to a little atoll or a little island and hopefully get there? Because it's like you look at the boat out there and you're like, oh, that's not that far. It's always farther than it looks.
Yes, and it already looked far, so.
And you we're not talking, you're a triathlete at that point.
That's right.
You had no background, swim, bike, or run.
No, I did a bit of running to stay fit during my studies.
Right.
Yeah.
So you decided, you had a life jacket on, you're going to swim to one of the atolls and backstroke.
Yes. There was not really a good option, and I was pretty convinced that my life would come to an end at one point. But I had a strong gut feeling that I really had to leave that place there, because I was so scared during that night, and I thought I'm not going to survive a second night. So out of a sudden I thought, okay, I swim away now from the group, and I left with a lady from New Zealand, and in the end it took us 8 hours to make it to shore.
8 hours to make it to shore, and fortunately the water was warm,
Yes.
But you were still chilled, and some people perished, right? Some people didn't make it.
Yeah, there were unfortunately 2 Spanish passengers, and they left after us, also swam for the island, and they've never been found.
Wow. So now you're there on the atoll, and is any people there?
It was a volcanic island, no people, was nothing there. But to be honest, Bob, I was so happy that I was on land and that I was out of the ocean, because it's the water, you can't control it. And once I was on the island, I knew I'm not there and I have to survive this island. But I have land under my feet.
You have land under your feet. And you took your passport with you, figuring that if you passed, at least your parents would know what happened to you.
Yes, it's just you start thinking about home, and what do my parents hear if they hear that their daughter passed away, and if we can't even find her. So then I thought, okay, let's grab my passport so at least they can identify my body and then know at least it's me.
And how did you guys get off the island? Did somebody finally spot you?
We slept the night on the island, and then the day after, a big boat was like driving by, and then we got their attention by waving with our life jackets.
And did you have anything to eat or drink?
We couldn't find anything on the island, and the night before we went to sleep there, we drank our own urine.
To try to you have something. And once you were rescued, that changed you, right?
Yes.
Because you were a doctor at the time, now you're a professional triathlete. Was there something you thought about that, hey, you know what? I want to live my life differently. I want to do something audacious. Mm-hmm. Was that what went through your mind?
Well, for me, like, the sport really helped me to process the trauma. It's like a therapy, and I think we all notice it clears our mind, and it's just so nice, such a good feeling to be out in nature and to sport. And then I found a passion for triathlon, and I really told myself, I'm going to make the most out of every day I have ahead of me. And I just grab every opportunity I get now and just be grateful that I'm here. And look at like this place now, I'm on Kona, so nothing really matters, you know. We are all here, and just embrace and enjoy life. And I was super focused to become a surgeon and to do well in medicine and be a great doctor. But I found triathlon as a new passion, and I thought I'd just give it a go.
Well, and it's one thing to say, okay, I'm just going to do triathlon as an age grouper, but your mentality was, I want to be the best. I want to be a pro.
Yeah.
That's starting with no swim, bike, and run, getting to the level you're at now. Do you ever look back and go, how the hell did that happen?
I think I should look back a bit more often and really realize that, because I think it's maybe a bit in my nature. I always want to do better. I always like criticize myself and want to improve. But exactly what you say, like a couple of years, I would not even expect it to be a professional athlete, like let alone be on the start line of Kona and win an Ironman. So I'm actually very proud on where I am right now.
And did you race here last year?
I didn't. I qualified, but in 2019 I was here for the first time,
Yes.
and I just wanted to have the experience. Now I'm here with the goal to be competitive, and last year I think I wasn't ready to be competitive, and this year I'm just curious to see where my level is and what I can do.
I remember in 2019, did you get 16th?
Correct, yeah.
16th, so in the best athletes on the planet, 16th, with no background in swim, bike, and run.
Yes.
That is pretty amazing. And what is your goal here?
I just want to give my absolute best from the start to the finish and like stay strong mentally. It's going to be like a hard day. We all get our dark moments, but if I can stay positive and focused and deliver a performance I'm capable of, then I'm having a great day.
What do you look back at as your best race as a pro?
Well, my first win in the Netherlands in 2018, that's just something to remember, you know. That
At home?
At home. It was the year after I raced my first ever Ironman, and just like a reward of what I've been through, like that I turned into a professional athlete and then winning an Ironman. And I think it's really difficult to replicate that first win. But also this year I was super proud to win the title in Almere, and last year I couldn't make it to the start line due to sickness, so that I could deliver a great performance this year was also something I'm proud of.
How are you combining your medical background with being this professional athlete in this great sport? Is it a wellness that you're trying to bring home?
Yeah, so I was always focused on surgery, but now I really made the switch to public health, prevention of diseases, and I try to use my platform being an athlete to reach out to the audience and inspire people to live active and healthy lifestyles, and also inspire them to follow your own path. And instead of like treating people in the hospital as a surgeon, which is super important, it's even better if we can keep the people outside of the hospitals and that we
Yes.
don't have to get in, you know. And I think it's so important, like we as triathletes, we are all like super healthy people and happy people as well, but like the majority of people
Are not.
And like to me, like the biggest problem is that those people are unhappy, And in the end, it's all about happiness. And I believe that you can only be happy if you're fit and happy with your body.
Are you happier now as a professional triathlete than you were as a surgeon?
I have like the best life, yes. I'm super happy and grateful for every day. And I really loved being a doctor and working in a hospital, and it's still a passion I have. And of course, sometimes I think back to those days, and which I really enjoyed too. But I think that like life got a lot more color for me now, and it's more intense and more deeper, and I can just enjoy sitting here with you, you know? Yeah, it's great.
My favorite thing. Ladies and gentlemen, how about the great Els Visser? What a great story.
Thank you.
Love having you here. Poncho Man, take us out.
People, let's get ready for the race is coming. Let's get on board, cause it's breakfast with Bob.
And Poncho Man, everybody.